Hey everyone, it's Mark from Youth for Christ here. I'm so excited to be with you today. This is our third annual Stop the Clock, Make Every Moment Count campaign, and I'm so excited that you stopped by to see us. Before we get into the campaign though, I want to talk with you guys about a problem, but I also want to talk to you about how you have an opportunity to be a part of the solution. Did you know that the Surgeon General just came out that youth mental health is in crisis? And what I can tell you is that our staff and volunteer, ground level, working with kids every day in and out, we see that. Also, our friends at Springtide Research found coming out of the pandemic that these 5 things students are struggling with the most: loneliness, isolation, hopelessness, stress, and unfortunately suicide. You know, when I think about those things, and this time of year around Christmas, I wonder what the bad news was back then. When the angel made the announcement in Luke chapter 2, verse 10, and he said, "I bring you good news that will bring great joy to all people." And he announced Jesus' birth and Jesus' coming. I wonder what the problem was back then. I wonder what youth were going through back then. Here's the thing. That's the problem. That's the bad news. This is the good news. The good news is Jesus is here and Jesus is working in the middle of all this darkness. Like he was then and like he is now, we see that Jesus is giving life to young people. This is exciting because this is where you can be a part of this. You can come alongside Youth for Christ and you can make a difference in the life of a kid. Now you'll notice that our campaign is Make Every Moment Count. That's because the Apostle Paul tells us in Ephesians chapter 5, 15 through 17, he tells us to make the most of every opportunity because these days are evil. And here's the thing, we don't have time to wait, because every 1 hour and 54 minutes, a young person takes their life in our country. That is a crisis. Here's the good news, Jesus is the solution. And here's how you can be a part of that with us. You can make every moment count by taking a moment to, in this busy season, to stop and tell a kid that you love them, that you notice them, that you know their name. Tell them about Christ. Tell them about that good news. But here's the thing, take a moment and do that. Because this is the truth. Even as a parent, we truthfully don't know the amount of time that we're going to get with our kids. Yes, it may be 18, it could be 20, it could be 25 that our kids are with us. But for some, they lose their kids. You'll hear a story about a family that lost their child to suicide in this campaign. And see, here's the point. Even with us, we don't know the amount of time that we're going to get with a young person. And that's why every moment counts. Every moment counts, that when we get the opportunity to be in the life of a kid, to make the most of that opportunity, to notice them, know their name, know their story, and tell them about the greatest news that they could hear. And that is the gospel of Jesus. That there is a God that loves them, that cares for them, that wants to save them, and that their life matters to Him. So we invite you to be a part of this exciting 12 days, this campaign. During this process, you're going to see videos come out about every 2 days, and you're going to hear about those 5 things that we told you about: isolation, suicide, hopelessness, stress, and loneliness. And you'll see how Jesus has entered into the lives of these young people's story, even through suicide, how God is changing their life and making their moments count when He enters into their life. We invite you to be a part of this. We're super, super excited that you stopped by. Again, we invite you to come alongside us, write a letter to a young person, tell them that you love them, tell them you notice them, tell them about Jesus. Recognize, make them know that you know that it's hard times right now in our world, that it's crazy. Let them know that you see them. And you can also join us by making a fundraising page and raising awareness for the work that we're doing. Y'all, we We encountered 1,000 youth last year coming out of the pandemic. And we want them all to know the greatest story that's ever been told, that Jesus loves them, Jesus gave his life for them, and he invites them to be a part of his story for eternity. Because again, remember, we never know when a moment can change for eternity for the life of a young person. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. We're so excited what God is doing. And again, we want to invite you to make every moment count in the life of a young person. Thank you, and God bless.